What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ review. Out of theater reaction here for Chris Pratt's new movie, Mercy. All right, so this is a screen-to-life film. He plays Detective Chris Raven, and he's put on trial for the murder of his wife. And it's in the future where if you have a high probability of guilt, you get put in the mercy court, and the judge is artificial intelligence. And basically you have 90 minutes to clear your name. And if you fail to clear your name at the end of the 90 minutes, you're executed right there on the spot. All right, so Chris Pratt, big fan of his, and he did a good job in this movie. A lot of emotion, a lot of angst. It's hard to say, like, physically, he's strapped to the chair for much of the movie, but he did a really good job of conveying the frustration that he was in trying to clear his name for his wife's murder. There was a lot of stuff going on with him and his wife and their relationship, and he did a pretty good job conveying some of that as well. I think the standout in this movie was definitely Rebecca Ferguson as Judge Maddox, the AI. For whatever reason, she was just very convincing as an AI program. As the movie progressed and he starts challenging her and some of her programming, it was interesting to see a shift in her demeanor, a shift in her expression. And overall, I just think that, like I said, she was the standout. She really knocked this role out of the park. Screen-to-life movies are really difficult for me. I've yet to find one that I have really been invested in. I mean, obviously, you start thinking about the debacle that we had last year with Ice Cube's War of the Worlds. Just a terrible, terrible movie. But there's been other attempts at screen-to-life movies, and some of them haven't been received poorly. One of them, I believe, Searching. I didn't get into that. I tried to watch it, and I just had a very difficult time getting through that movie. For me, this is the best screen-to-life movie that they've made yet, that Hollywood has made yet. And at the heart of this movie was a murder mystery. Now, as the movie progressed, there was a couple red herrings, but as the movie progressed, it became a little more obvious who the killer was. And then at the end of the movie, the last 15, 20 minutes, it kind of divulges from a murder mystery into a straight up action movie that is told through screen to life. And that's a little more challenging to pull off effectively. And I think that they did as good a job here as I think you can do with screen to life. But overall, while I enjoyed this movie, it's not one that I'm going to revisit. It's not a movie that's going to have high rewatchability, because now that I know how the movie unfolds, screen to life is one of the least interesting ways to watch a movie. So now that I know how the mystery has unfolded, I'm going to have very little incentive to go back in the future to revisit it. It's not even something like the Knives Out movies, where after I know how it plays out, I'm going to revisit it to try to catch all the clues, because the presentation here just isn't as interesting. So, like I said, the hook was the mystery and solving the mystery, and that kept me invested throughout the course of the movie. I was never bored. But like I said, it's not a movie that's going to have high rewatchability, if any at all. It was this is the kind of movie that, as somebody who is a advocate for the theatrical experience, I think that movies should be experienced in the theater as intended. And I would like to see streaming movies go straight to theaters and then straight to streaming. This is a movie that I think, ironically enough, based on how I feel, this is a movie that I think is the type of movie that's designed to go straight to streaming. And Chris Pratt has had better movies than this go straight to streaming. So I don't know why the decision was made to send some better movies straight to streaming and send this one to theaters, when this is a movie that I feel is the exact type of movie to go straight to streaming. But yeah, you know, I'm glad I saw it in the theaters. I'm a theater advocate, and I want to experience movies in the theaters. And to be fair, I know that this movie did get an IMAX release. I did not see it in IMAX, and it might have been a different experience in IMAX. There's a few scenes in the movie. There's a few scenes in this movie while they're in the Mercy Court that might have played out a little bit differently in IMAX. Not obviously from a plot or narrative perspective, but just from a full immersion perspective into the movie and into the narrative. So I liked it, but it's not something I'm going to revisit again in the future. So that's my take on Chris Pratt's Mercy. Have you seen it? If so, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there commenting, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.